It's 4:44 p.m. on the 18th of January 2022, and I'm calling to order the special session of the Maricopa County Community College District Governing Board. There are two items on the agenda today. One is the election of board president for the coming year, and the other is election of board secretary for the coming year. For purposes of the record, I am going to do roll call. I understand Mr. Evans is ill and not in attendance. If you are there somewhere and I couldn't see you, please, Mr. Evans, acknowledge your presence. Okay, with that, Ms. Bittersmith.
I am here, thank you.
We're glad you're here, thank you. Mrs. McGrath.
Present.
Thank you. Dr. Narini.
I'm here.
Ms. Smith.
Present.
Dr. Thor.
Present.
Ms. Nguyen.
Present.
With my present, it's full complement of the board. Is present, 7 members. Mr. Evans, our student trustee, is absent due to illness. And thank you everyone for your patience this evening. With that, moving on to our first agenda item, the election of board presidents. I'm now going to open the floor for nomination for the office of president. Just speak out if you'd like to be acknowledged.
Ms. Sullivan?
Yes, is that you, Dr. Thor?
It is. I would like to nominate Marie Sullivan to be our president for the year 2022. Second.
Thank you. Are there any more nominations? Okay, with that, I guess it's my job to say whether I choose to accept the nomination, and I will. So thank you for your confidence in me to move us forward another year. So I'm going to declare with that the nominations are closed. So would all board members who are in favor of Ms. Sullivan serving as president of the governing board for 2022, please vote by saying aye.
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 And if opposed, please vote by saying nay. All right, I'm going to say that by 7-0, I've been reelected for 1 more year. And this is it, guys. I'm just putting it out there. So thank you. And I'm honored by your confidence. And I know we have an exciting year ahead with lots to accomplish. And so it's all of us together. I serve as our facilitator and meeting convener, but it's our work together that really impacts and makes a difference. So look forward to another year with all of us. So with that, I'm going to move on to the second issue on our agenda, and that is I'm going to open the floor for nominations for the office of secretary. Anyone, please speak up.
Ms. Sullivan?
Yes, Dr. Thor.
I would like to nominate Dr. Narini to be our secretary for the year 2022.
Thank you. Is there a second on that nomination? Not that we need to have one, but.
Second as well.
Thank you, Ms. Bittersmith. Are there any other nominations before I ask Dr. Narini if he'll accept the nomination? Being none, Dr. Narini, do you accept the nomination?
I accept the nomination.
Okay, so I am now going to declare that the nominations are closed. And so would all board members in favor of Dr. Narini serving as secretary of the governing board for 2022, please say aye.
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 Is there anyone opposed? By a vote of 7-0, Dr. Narini is elected to serve as secretary of the governing board for 2022. So, wow, Dr. Narini, do you have any comments?
Oh, no, thank you. I appreciate being a part of the team.
Great. Well, with these elections now being completed, I want to acknowledge that we have a busy year ahead of us. And so let's get going and move right into the agenda review. Does that work for everyone? And if it does, I'm going to adjourn our special meeting and move on. Okay, so we have concluded and adjourned our special session. I want to remind everyone again that we're live captioning our meeting. And as I stated earlier, please look in the chat window of our WebEx meeting where you will find a link. Please click on that link to open a web page with the live captioning. So with that, I call to order the agenda review meeting of the Maricopa County Community College District Governing Board of January 18, 2022. Today, we are going to review the agenda for the January 25, 2022 board meeting. Again, for the record, and given that this is a separate meeting, I will call roll, acknowledging that Mr. Evans is absent due to illness. So with that, Ms. Bittersmith, are you present?
I am.
Thank you. Mrs. McGrath,
Present.
Dr. Narini,
Present.
Ms. Smith,
Present.
Dr. Thor,
Present.
Ms. Nguyen.
Present.
With my presence, again, full complement of the board of 7-0. And in front of us are the topics for the January 25 agenda. I will note that there will be a work session on the budget scheduled for next Tuesday evening. It will begin at 4:45 p.m. and Dr. Gonzalez with Ms. Granillo will lead that discussion, I believe. So please note your calendars for that. But moving through then the consent agenda, the agenda that takes us to the consent agenda for the 25th. I'm going to read out the items that will be on the agenda. So again, we have an executive session this evening, and it's depending on our action, or our discussion for this evening, there may be a proposed settlement for us to approve at that meeting. Moving on, item 3 on that agenda is approval of the appointment of Kirsten Burdell as the interim Healthcare United Gateway Clinic Administrator under AAC Rule 910-1003-B3. Is there any comments or questions on that item? Being none, also on the consent agenda, item 4, approval of lease of suite at Rio North to Purple Ribbon Council to cut out domestic abuse. So is there a comment or question on item number 4?
Ms. Sullivan, I have a question. This is Ms. Nguyen. So
Yes, go ahead.
this is our facility and we're leasing it out to Bloom 365, correct? Is that what this is?
I believe so. Dr. Gonzalez?
President Sullivan and I believe that was Board Member Nguyen.
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you. I would say that that would be correct, but I'm going to ask President Smith to confirm just to be 100% here.
Thank you, Dr. Gonzalez. Thank you, President Sullivan, Board Member Nguyen. Yes, this is property that we currently own, and we already have one lease with Bloom 365, and this is a second lease because they're expanding their they have expanded needs. Thank you.
Okay, and so a follow-up question. Since we're giving them more space in commercial spaces at a premium, are we charging current rents or are we just continuing to expand their former rent rate?
Our rates are based on current rates and then at a discounted rate because they provide in-kind services. And I'm happy to provide more information on the in-kind services if so desired.
Yeah, if we could get that before just so I could look at it. I just want to make sure it's a very necessary thing. I'm very aware of their work. I just want to make sure that we're getting as much income into the college as we possibly can, not at the expense of this, but just knowing that it's a fair rate. Thank you.
Thank you.
So as you provide that President Smith, will you ensure that all board members are made aware of your answer to Mrs. Nguyen? And Dr. Gonzalez, you as well? Just so in time for us to have that information for the next meeting, I think is all that's necessary.
Absolutely, President Sullivan.
Thank you. All right, moving on to approval of the lease agreement with Tree of Life Preschool Academy at South Mountain Community College. Any comments or questions on item 5?
I probably would just want the same thing here. I just want to make sure we're getting a fair rate. Thank you.
Okay, and Dr. Gonzalez, I'm sure you'll direct that one to the appropriate person as well.
Yes, we will, President Sullivan.
Thank you. Item 6 is approval of acceptance of new grant award on behalf of Rio Salado and KBAC from the Corporation for Public Broadcasting, totaling $212,733. Is there any comment or question on that? Congratulations. But then moving on to 7, approval of acceptance of new grant award on behalf of Rio Salado and KJAZ from the Corporation for Public Broadcasting, totaling $643,141. Is there any comment or question on that item? Okay, also congratulations on that. Moving on to 8, approval of change order number 1 to GCON Inc. in the amount of $1,081,551.51 for the removal of the KSC, E, and Q buildings at Paradise Valley Community College. Is there any comments or questions on that item? Being none, moving to item 9, approval to award a construction purchase order to Johnson's Roofing LLC in the amount of $276,435 for the AP Building Roof Restoration Project at Scottsdale Community College. Any comments or questions? Item 10, approval of a job order contracting purchase order in the amount of $609,051.83 to Baker Copeland Construction for mechanical upgrades to the Osborne West classroom building at Phoenix College. Any comments or questions? Moving then to item 11 on the consent agenda, approval of proposed fiscal year 22-23 course fees. Are there any comments or questions on item 11?
Of course. Oh, this is Dr.
Go
Green.
ahead, Dr. Green.
No, I do have some specific questions that I'll forward to Dr. Gonzalez to send off to the appropriate folks. But the comment I want to make, I just want to thank the work that the faculty and administrators have done to help lower the cost for students. Even though a lot of these fees look like they're going up, it looks like in the long run it's going to help bring the total cost of the student's education down. And I just want to ask if we can start thinking about a way to promote this, to show that even though, because these are lot fees that we're asking the students to pay, but we're bringing down the cost of books and we're bringing down some other costs for the students. So if we can, just think about how do we accurately represent to the community and to the students at large that our cost is actually going down with some of these changes that we're making, so we can give them an accurate understanding of what it's going to cost for their education.
Thank you, Dr. Gonzalez. Duly noted.
Duly noted, and thank you very much for your feedback and questions, Dr. Nuri. I think it's helped make this a better process and ultimately ensuring that the students are getting what they're paying for.
Thanks.
Thank you. With that, there are no further items on the consent agenda for next Tuesday's consideration. So I'm going to move through the rest of the proposed agenda. As you can see at this time, there are no consent action items. There is a first read and information for employment and separations, November 21 through December 24, 21. Are there any comments or questions on that? Moving through the monitoring reports, see the first one is for the budget analysis report general unrestricted fund for the 5 months ending 11/30/2021. Any comments or questions on that item? Moving into budget analysis report, item number 2, again, general unrestricted fund for the 6 months ending 12/31/21. Are there 31/2021? Are there any comments or questions on that item? As we do at all of our board meetings, then after that, we will move to the community reports of governing board, and we will look at the next meeting dates, times, and locations. Board, what I'd like to do moving forward is do a little bit more planning with all of you in anticipating what we may have at particular months and particular times for our meeting schedule. So I know this isn't the meeting where there would be appointments, but I'd like to suggest, as you consider the committees you want to serve on or are serving on, it'd be my interest to have you continue in those. But as you look at your planning or thinking forward with those meetings and how you would like them managed throughout the year, please feel free to give me a call so we can work together, and perhaps we can publish those. Maybe not next week, but shortly thereafter, so we can get a better sense of how our work will unfold over the year. So with that, oh, and also next week, we will not be meeting in person. We will continue our virtual meetings as we're doing this evening also for next week, and assessing it 1 month at a time. So with that, do I have a motion to adjourn the meeting and enter into an executive session?
So moved.
And that was whom? Who moved? I'm
Mrs.
sorry.
Nguyen?
Thank you, Kathleen. Mrs. Nguyen moved that we adjourn the meeting and enter an executive session. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, Ms. Bittersmith. So with that, we're going to move into our executive session. I think by now we know the drill. We'll exit out of here, re-enter through another website. I want to thank everyone who was present this evening, both for the special meeting and our agenda review. We look forward to another year working together, and thank you. So the meeting now stands adjourned. So I'll see you in a few minutes, board members.